and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, starting with you, Jim, please.
Jim Lehman present.
Doug Shreve here.
No Barnes here.
Bob Hayes here. Tom Paul here.
All good. Item number 4 is the open forum. Is there anybody bring the
Pick me. Hi, everybody. I'm Vicki Polito. I live in Walker's Grove. I know the board is focusing a lot these days on looking at their sort of compensation and their employee payroll and so on. And I wanted to ask you to take a look at, my understanding is that we have some paid lunches that we have on staff. And if my math is right, for 3 positions that get that, at the number of hours per week and per year, you'd end up with about 780 hours a year paid lunches. So that's non-productive time. You're paying lunches for people who essentially aren't out in the field or anything like that. And at the average salary for those roles, which is $25.78 an hour, that ends up being about $20,000 a year paid for that time. And the paid time is also problematic when you do it that way. Some of you who've been active in business know, because by law, paid hours like that drive other things like paid time off, because they count towards it if you're going to compensate for it. You can have potential overtime issues depending upon how exempt and non-exempt works here. And it also drives pension funding a little higher. I can't find anyone currently in sort of the business marketplace and even in the public sector. I don't understand why we're doing paid lunches. I think it's a cost mistake. I think it's an expense we don't need. I think we should be with the rest of the world and not doing that kind of thing. And then the other thing is, with that number of people doing that work, I don't understand, and maybe it's completely explainable and completely reasonable, but I can't figure out how. How are we generating, in a district like this, in a Monday to Friday work week, between 105 and 160 hours of office work to be done for the district? That seems way over the top. So to me, that either says we have too many people doing one kind of work, or we have people who can't do the work that well or need help doing the work because we're paying too many people to get the same amount of work done that we could get for less, basically. So I just wanted to put that out there for your consideration. Thanks.
Thank you. Anything else from the floor? Seeing nothing else, we'll go to number 5, correspondence.
Couple of things, Mr. President. Note from BC Mike Oldman on January 16th. A family visited Mr. and Mrs. Darcy visited Station 2 and dropped off a bag of candy, cookies, and a thank you note containing a check for $100 made out to the Plainfield Fire Department. This was to show appreciation for assisting them with a medical problem on New Year's Day. 1924's crew that day was Craig Rundle and Bill Cascone. 16 days later, she still praised their quick response and professionalism. Check went to Chief Grill to be properly distributed and used as indicated. And a note from Mrs. Darcy, thank you very much for your help in getting John up on his feet at 5 a.m. on New Year's Day. I really appreciated your quick response. Please buy pizzas for the gang. From Ms. Hanson, I want to say a grateful thank you to the 911 team that came to my rescue on January 13th. They were competent, professional, and extremely helpful. How fortunate we are here in Plainfield to have such wonderful help. Patricia Ryan, sister of Cornelius Ryan, and 5-year-old gentleman. And a thank you note from Ralph for the fruit basket. Fruit basket was incredible, and I'm getting plenty of healthy food. I really miss all of you, and I hope this darn wrist heals quickly. Seems to be healing because he was here for the meeting last night. It seems to be doing well.
Okay, thank you. Need to be placed on file. I think we have to have an election of officers for the board, correct?
because we changed board members.
Because what?
I'd have to look at the statute, you have to have them every time the board makeup changes. But usually it's done following elections.
Okay, so no replacement, like a fill-in for somebody who's resigned or whatever? Doesn't have in that?
I'd have to look at to see whether it says a change in the makeup or whether it says following an election.
All right, we'll table that until next month, it won't make any difference.
I'm gonna see if I can Google it.
Is that all right with you guys?
Did we change, are we replacing any officers on the board?
Benny Bennett?
No.
No officers as of right.
Oh, you,
No.
Oh,
no, we changed when the election was, but Mark Reynolds wasn't an office, wasn't a president, secretary, treasurer.
no.
So we don't
Just
need
a
to
board
change.
member. So just that's
Yes.
okay.
Otherwise, I will have an answer for you before you,
Okay.
if I'm wrong.
I move the table, but we don't have to do that. Number 7 on your agenda is, I entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes of January 12th, 2016. Second on that?
I'll second.
Moving second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion's carried. Also, entertain a motion for the approval of the treasurer's report for January 2016.
Second.
In 3 seconds. That's good, 3 minutes. Okay. Move the second and all in favor of receiving the treasurer's report, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion's carried. Now, I'll entertain a motion for the payment of bills as presented.
So moved. Being usual. Second.
Moving second on the payment of bills in the usual manner. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. That motion is carried. Now we're into old business. For the details of the chief's report, we want to say something, Chief?
The union has gotten a copy of the contract back from their attorneys, and they're reviewing some of the changes. I think we're still just a brief review with the president today. We're still well within the bounds that we discussed. There's some grammatical and clarity issues that they've addressed, and we're trying to schedule a page turn meeting so both teams can go over the document one last time and get it out to everybody that needs to see it as a final kind of let's vote on issue. So that's going on. Is there anything else, Doug?
Same thoughts
Okay.
from our side, so very close.
All right.
We look at it next month, maybe?
That would be our hope. It's
We were hoping second week of March we'd have our
Yeah.
ratification meeting, hopefully,
Okay.
best case scenario.
We have on the agenda, review and discuss employee contracts. We aren't going to do that tonight. We were kind of waiting until we go through the union procedure, see how that goes. So that'll be tabled for now. Next item is discuss the sale of this Plain Street property.
In my report, I included just, not a comprehensive report, but just some points of discussion that, just from the chief's views, that we think probably deserve some more of the board's time to shake out at some point. So, and I leave it in your hands to give me some direction there we can set up a meeting or do whatever you wish.
Should we make that in the form of a workshop or?
I think focused on that would be pretty good if we could do that, and it might take more than one, but maybe one we could at least
Can we
start, get some direction, yeah.
Can we set a date now?
We can, let's pull one together,
Okay.
we'll
Let us know.
know.
Thank you. New business. Do we have any board review notices?
No, organization.
No annexations. How about review and approve the annual expenditure list on the PFPD foreign fire tank?
Copy is in your packet. Comments on it?
No, just the list that was submitted to you for your approval.
Make a motion that we,
Did Tom get the chance to look at that, Chief?
I don't know if you're gonna.
did he give that to Tom?
The foreign fire tax, Tom? The list?
Should have been in his packet.
Was I sent this?
Yes.
I think I did look at it.
Can we explain?
And I believe that I was fine with it. Obviously, newspapers and magazines stay here.
The firehouses, yeah.
Yeah, as long as everything stays here, I'm fine with it.
Okay. That was some of the discussions we had prior to. So that's, so, like Tom said, if it stays in the firehouse, it's moving wide.
I'll make a motion that we approve the list for the foreign fire tax.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the annual expenditure list from the foreign fire tax board. All in favor, signify. Well, let's go below, so that, okay, vote for me. Roll call vote. Jim?
Jim Neiman, yes.
Doug Shreve, yes.
Bill Barnes, yes.
Bob Bass, yes.
Tom Paul, yes.
Motion's carried. Review and act on the hardship case. And it's
We have a request that also was in your packet, but not a copy of every document. This family met the requirements in terms of submittals for consideration, so that hurdle is out of the way, and we'd like to propose, they don't live in the district. Total bill is about $1,400, and I would prefer that rather than zero out their obligation, that we provide a counter to them for a much easier payment plan and get them out of the collection side of the house at this point, and give them an opportunity to make us whole with what they owe us, but make it much more within their budget and ability to pay.
And they'll come back with it later then.
Yeah. And it's going to be a little bit over a long time, but we think,
Doesn't hurt to give them as much
Yeah.
consideration as possible, but we still have the right to go back to.
yeah.
Did we get a motion on that, Tom? Or can we just have them move forward with it?
As long as you've got it, you can make a motion on it.
I'll make a motion that we allow you to move forward with it.
Second.
What do you want to do?
moved and seconded to allow the chief to act on the hardship case. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion is carried. Thank
Mr. President, if I can interrupt,
you. Yes, sir.
the statute is in front of me, and it talks about the first meeting following the commencement of any term of a trustee. And what you are filling is an unexpired term, so I don't think that's the term of a trustee. I can tell you, in over 30-some years of doing it, I've never been asked that question. I've never seen it done when somebody comes in to fill a vacancy.
Thank you for a good answer. Okay, item B is discussion and approval of the implementation of the Plainfield Fire Department Foundation Fund. This is a new thing in the training.
This is a new thing, and I tried to explain it briefly in my report to you, and how it hopefully will dovetail into the effort to put undirected contributions, memorial contributions, and thing of that like, rather than commingling them with tax receipts, basically. that we'd have a instrument that we could do those memorial tree plantings or some of those other types of expenditures without being shady about it or trying to twist them around, doing something that could look questionable in the eyes of the public. So just trying to make a little more bright light between those two funds. And we had Tom look into it, send us the paperwork, and I apologize for not getting it in your packet, but I had it on my desk. So when we don't have to do it tonight, I mean, it's something you can consider for next month, and we can revisit it. We're not in a big rush, but you know, every time we lose a member, we get sometimes substantial donations. That now what do? We want to make it something unique as a memorial for that person, rather than buying some consumable or something that really isn't a consumable but won't be around in 10 or 15 years, and no one will even know that we had something for that person. So just trying to balance that.
This isn't unusual. I've done this in other districts. Frankfurt has one, Lennox has one. And actually, the foundations can raise money for you, that, you know, and then it gets others in some, I don't remember who's involved in it, but you can use it also as a way to get other people involved in raising the money for the fundraiser.
So this will be kept in a separate fund, and whenever something happens, if we want to spend it, we'll bring it to the board.
Yeah, well, it would be under the way I understand it, would be under the board of the foundation that's
Okay.
established.
You won't have necessarily any say in it. They'll be giving it to you when you make
Okay.
a request.
Yeah, so you're gonna have a foundation for it.
That's the aim.
Okay,
So,
good. Item F is the adoption of the Plainfield Fire Protection District Fire Prevention Code. Amendments to the 2015 edition of the International Fire Code. Motion?
Make a motion to accept the new code as written.
I'll second that. Move and second to adopt the new Fire Protection District Fire Prevention Code, amendment to the 2015 edition of the International Fire Code. And this will be a roll call vote, please. Jim?
Jim Ligon, yes.
Bill Shreve, yes.
Bill Barnes, yes.
Bob Bass, yes.
Tom Paul, yes.
I'd just like to thank Mary for all the hard work she did on that, coordinating that with the village, and getting Tom's eyes on it, and raising her concerns that she had. There's a lot to it, rather than just,
Yeah.
there you go. So,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you, Mary. Motion is carried. The next item is to declare the 1913 and 1993 Pierce pumper as surplus.
Comment on it. When we say 1913, for the guys that were on the fire department, that's school 1912. Okay, so we haven't ran that thing for the last 4 years. Calls and stuff, it's been up to Station 3. We've got 21, that's our reserve engine right now. We met as a vehicle committee, and we kind of, to the point we really not needed in our fleet right now. One of the things we kind of suggested with it was we partnered up with JJC. They got a good fire service program going on down there. If we could donate it to them, and if we do need it back there for training, I talked to Dwayne Stonich, the director of the program down there, and we could bring it up there for training. So it's still, we'd be using it if we needed to on our training stuff. So that was kind of our direction with the vehicle committee, if we so desire.
Any discussion on that at the board?
We really don't, we don't use it here for training, they're using reserve on their own.
It's such an older engine to teach the guys now, it's kind of tough.
Okay. We'll take the motion on that just to approve that pumper surplus.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Moving second to declare the, actually, 1913 pumper as surplus, and it would go to Joy Junior College Equipment Service Program. All in favor, vote please.
Jim Ligon, yes.
Bill Shreve, yes.
Bill Barnes, yes.
Bob Bass, yes.
Tom Paul, yes.
Thank you. Next thing on our agenda is the chief's report, and that's, any questions on the chief's report?
I have nothing further to add to it.
I didn't see anything with this stuff. Very impressive. The fire, Henry's income is $108,091.38, recovered from insurance companies by Henry's. Fire recovery, January 2016 income, $1,144. And next item is on the agenda is the administration committee reports, administration committee. I have nothing at this time. Vehicles. Who was that, you done?
We were just decided to.
Okay. Well,
I'll work on it if you want.
I don't think there's anything there right now.
No.
Chief's taking care of it. Okay, we'll do that by next week. Land and building trustee, John Paul.
I have nothing at this point, sir.
Have you heard anything from the people in December, I think, were asking about building?
There, at least as far as I've heard, there's been no further movement on that. There was a potential client, and I haven't gotten an update as far as where that was moved to. There was possibly a secondary client, and that never materialized.
EMS, first lead,
Nothing at this point.
we still got personnel there.
I don't have anything on personnel, but I do want to bring up, Chief, there is a meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you got anybody that wants to go, it's at the township building for the road closures for Caton Farm, with IDOT.
Are the bridges?
Yeah,
Where's it gonna be?
it's at the township building.
Okay, all right.
They called late today and said that they were gonna have one, and they got the approval on, so.
All right.
If there's somebody who wanna go there, if not, I'll go over there for you if you want, but I figured you guys would probably
Yeah, we'll get somebody.
rather be there.
Thank you.
All right. 2 p.m.,
Yeah.
that's all.
Any fire commission report?
We have a meeting tomorrow at 2:30.
Okay. Thank you. Any other report? Hearing none. Do you have anything for closed session, Terry?
I have yeah.
No, that's it.
Okay. Workshop date.
We'll get
You're gonna
back to
let
you
us
on that.
know?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We'll make sure everyone fits.
And the next regular meeting is March 8, 2016 at 6 p.m. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Move to second to adjourn. All in favor, aye?
Aye.